Those are real numbers, real people, and real deaths. We have well over 300,000 deaths. We're averaging 2,000 to 3,000 deaths per day. All you need to do, Chuck, is go into the trenches, go into the hospitals, go into the intensive care units, and see what is happening.
Fauci, the president just tweeted that the number of deaths is far exaggerated, blaming the CDC's what he called ridiculous method of determination compared to other countries. Your response to that?
Well, the deaths are real deaths. I mean, all you need to do is to go out into the trenches, go to the hospitals, see what the healthcare workers are dealing with. They are under very stressed situations. In many areas of the country, the hospital beds are stretched. People are running out of beds, running out of trained personnel who are exhausted right now. That's real. That's not fake. That's real.
You know, our doctors get more money if somebody dies from COVID. You know that, right? I mean, our doctors are very smart people. So what they do is they say, I'm sorry, but, you know, everybody dies of COVID. But in Germany and other places, if you have a heart attack or if you have cancer, you're terminally ill, you catch COVID, they say you died of cancer. You died of heart attack. With us, when in doubt, choose COVID. It's true. No, it's true. Now they'll say, oh, it's terrible what he said, but that's true.
Because there's no COVID. It's a fake pandemic created to destroy the United States of America.
But the president said to Bob Woodward that there is a virus, the coronavirus, and that it is deadly.
That's his opinion. The truth is that the CDC said there's only less than 10,000 people die from COVID. The other 190,000 have 2.6 or 2.8 other mortalities.
All right, let's keep talking about this. I'm ready. So let's say you have COPD. You're walking around, you get COVID, you get an exacerbation of your COPD so bad you go in the hospital, the inflammation in your lungs gets really bad, you need to be intubated, you go to the ICU, you develop acute respiratory distress syndrome, you develop respiratory failure, and you die. In this example, COVID is the cause of death because without the COVID, none of that sequence of events would have happened leading to the patient's death. Now would be a good time to distinguish between mechanism versus cause of death because a lot of people in my comments are getting those two very confused. So the cause of death is the disease or injury that initiates a chain of events, brief or prolonged, which produces a fatal outcome. In this case, that would be the COVID. Mechanism of death is the physiologic derangement incompatible with continued life produced by the cause of death. In this case, that would be the respiratory failure. And by your logic, we should call up the CDC right now and tell them to cancel all cancer deaths because people don't die of cancer, they die of intracerebral hemorrhage from brain metastases or pulmonary emboli from hypercoagulable states of malignancy or sepsis from prolonged immunosuppression. But we don't do that because without the cancer, none of that would have happened and they wouldn't have died. You picking up what I'm putting down?
I saw a statistic come out the other day talking about only 6% of the people actually died from COVID, which is a very interesting, that they die from
Well,
other
they had
reasons.
comorbidities, which you've gotten criticized for because there are comorbidities, as the Italian showed, for every COVID death. I think it was 70-something% had 2 or 3 comorbidities. But the COVID might ultimately have been the key morbidity to hit them, but bottom line
But it's an interesting statistic.
Where are we on this death toll? It's over 350,000. Are we overcounting in this country or undercounting, Dr. Fauci?
The numbers are real, Chuck. You know, you're going to have some deviation plus or minus a bit, but the numbers are real. We have well over 300,000 deaths. We're averaging 2,000 to 3,000 deaths per day. All you need to do, Chuck, is go into the trenches, go into the hospitals, go into the intensive care units, and see what is happening. Those are real numbers, real people, and real deaths.
With us, when in doubt, choose COVID.